This is for the continuation of our Thrawn's Revenge 3.0 preview playthrough as the Empire of the Hand. In the last episode, we took out a lot of Zsinj's remaining territory. We've kind of left him with just... Is it just Findar and Fry Junction? I think it is, yeah. So those are going to be going pretty soon. We might end up going for Dathomir and Wayland. And then kind of seeing... Because we're not in a big amount of danger of Fry and Findar getting... either built up more, because they're already built up on the ground as much as they can be, and in space they're not going to be able to challenge us. So if the New Republic or if the Greater Maldrud decide to attack them, that'll make it a little bit easier for us anyways. So thank you, Divine, for subscribing. Appreciate it. The EAW community Discord. But yeah, so as I was just mentioning before the recording started, this is being recorded live on Twitch right before our New Republic playthrough will be, so I will be doing my best to answer Twitch questions as they come up in chat, or chat questions as they come up. I usually do these recordings every Monday, so that's a good time to be on Twitch. But we are obviously, with the Empire of the Hand playthrough here, we're a bit farther back in development than the New Republic stuff. Ooh, we could take Yavin pretty easily, so let's do that. Let's just go to that while I'm talking here. But yeah, so we're going to be recording hopefully 3 of each. But they're tomorrow as of when this is being recorded, so it'll be up by the time you guys on YouTube see it. I'm going to be putting up the patron ship choices for the Republic playthrough that we're going to be doing for Fall of the Republic. So that will be starting probably next week, early next week. December is going to have a lot of videos and streams and EAW playthroughs. All year we've basically had 1 or 2 going on max. The last few months it's just been an Empire at War episode, or 2 Empire at War episodes per week, and relatively short ones in this playthrough. And that is going to be going up. We're going to start having community matches again, possibly... the first one on Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure which, but we're getting closer to release. December's always been a good month for videos, so it's a good time to kind of go hard and then take a little bit of time off in January. But we have a question from Whiskey. Corey loses which version of the Emancipators in the game, one with the proton beam cannon or the torpedo launchers? It's just like the original captured version, so there's no stat differences, I don't think, right now. Specialization for some special heroes may come later, but right now they're basically the same ones. I don't think Jorrit made any modifications for those hero units, except for maybe the MC-80 Justice, which Ceritil did make a model for, I believe, but it just isn't in game yet either. That'll probably be in the 0.1 development cycle. Toasted Waffles asked, thank you for the sub, Toasted Waffle. Excited to finally catch another stream. Well, glad to have you. Let me know if the music's too loud. It sounds a bit loud on my side, but I think I just have the volume higher than I usually do. But yeah, like the way the shipyards work in particular is very different between this playthrough and the New Republic playthrough, because we kind of scrapped the system that was used, like, only ever seen in this playthrough. Too many edge cases, and then some stuff isn't super necessary for it, but we'll talk about that more later. We just gotta kill these guys, and hopefully that'll update it and finish the battle. We might have to auto-resolve after this, which is one of the side issues that we are getting around by changing it. As Chad is talking about, we did have our first submod unit release, the MC-75. There are a few units that may show up in that way. The Starhawk is a safe bet. We actually have a model done for the Starhawk. And there are a few other cannon units, but we have some other plans for some stuff as well. Thank you, Tom1650, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Oh, they're attacking Ulshaw with Thrawn there. So we'll have to see if we can hold off on that. But we're just going to take Yavin. Regarding the ultra heavy ion cannons, it has really going to be more ships with ultra heavy stuff coming. There are a few places those were already used. There, like, we wouldn't be swapping existing armaments for stuff. Jesus. But in areas where it makes sense, they exist now. Like the Rakusin, I think, still has an ultra heavy in Fall of the Republic. But yeah, the MC-75's out for Thrawn's Revenge. I thought about making it workable in Fall of the Republic, which may still happen, but just didn't seem like a huge priority at the time. This is such a... I don't know if we can win this. Maybe we can, because we'll have to pelt this kind of sniping at it as it comes. If we can use... If we can get them split up, that'll be helpful. Let's send the Kinegos in the back there. The Marauders are going to come in first. They have a lot of fighters. This one's having some fun. But they have 3 Lucre Hulks, I think. I think 3 Lucre Hulks and 3 Invincibles. So we have to be a little concerned about the CSA. We might have to just leave it. Well, yeah. It's going to be more difficult to take out the... I'm not sure what's keeping it caught there that's causing it to flip around. But that's EAW for you. At least we should be able to get some damage down on it. Whiskey's asking, because y'all are releasing these cannon submods, is it safe to assume that a post-Endor cannon mod will be released at some point in the future, and is it possible to get a submod that allows the New Republic to build Gargantuans and Bulwark Mark IIIs? We probably wouldn't do submods ourselves for stuff like unit options like that. It'll mostly be new content or additional content, or things that like take a particular dev's interest. But these assets are being made in potential anticipation of doing canon content in a dedicated mod at some point. And if we don't get there, then at least we have the submods out. Because like we have the Starhawk model that I still need to texture. We have Aspherna that 3Cole made. We have some other stuff that I can't talk about. But it's not impossible that we do either a sequel trilogy mod at some point, or if we do a Galactic Civil War mod, which is what Imperial Reign would be, then what we would end up doing for Galactic Civil War mod is having it so that there are some scenarios that are set in Legends, some scenarios that are set in canon, and then like some Legends or canon skirmish maps, or possibly in skirmish some more mixing. But that would be a while off yet. How would the Starhawk... Like, the tractor beam would be difficult, trying to find a way to kind of represent what it's doing without EAW shit tractor beam stuff. Thank you, Nacho, for subscribing. Appreciate it. 15 months. Has it really been that long? But like, yeah, stuff like swapping unit affiliations with submods is unlikely for us to do, just because we want to keep it kind of clean on what's being offered and make sure the stuff that's there has a bit more differentiation. Thank you, dude, for the 10 bits. Appreciate it. But you can, if you go between the sorry, if you go between the Empire of the Hand and New Republic playthroughs, you can really see how much is actually changing here. Like just how much cleaner it ends up looking in the New Republic playthrough already. All right, let's get the Kinegos over here. So these are 2021 Dreadnought model and Chissy Chissy Bang Bang, along with Hand of Regret. So we're gonna try to use these guys to take out Baruch Sloan. Alright, you guys can probably use power to weapons and get some damage in on that. Whiskey's again asking, so a potential GCW WOD would be a mixture of Legends and canon events, or would be... So they'd be separate Galactic Conquest maps. There would be some maps that are based on, like, Legends planets, Legends factions, Legends events, Legends characters, and then there'd be some maps that are based on the new canon events, characters, ships, maps, etc. Alright, let's see if we can use some of these ships to... Alright, you're going to pull out of their Ascendancy. They're not actually focusing on this. Let's get the Interceptors onto this side. We'll pull you back. I'm going to bring an Ascendancy forward and a Chaff forward. Alright, let's get out of here. We should keep our engines on the other side. No! Oh, crap. We lost the Phalanx. That's just a second late there. That's sad. I was really hoping to potentially take out the Bulwark, but we lost Cavalier Fortunate. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. That'll send us back to Cowron, I think. And if they decide to take Ilsha, that's fine. But let's invade Yavin. Well, let's bring over these guys and then invade Yavin. And I'm going to get a view of Meridoon next. Something else that has come up a bit is that this campaign is laggier than previous ones. But with that, you'll also notice that the New Republic one is already, like, probably less laggy than even 2.3.6 was, and we'll actually be able to do some stuff in the future that'll make it even less laggy than previous releases. But part of what was going on with this playthrough is with those stations, there was a script called the Combat Power Monitor that was running very regularly, which meant more stuff happening, pretty intensive stuff happening. So the fact that we're not using that anymore means that it shouldn't be the same problem. But the other thing that was going on with this release, or with this this build that we're on for this playthrough, is that there were some functions for, like, the New Republic Admiral picking and Chief of State elections and stuff, where the AI would be able to build those options, but they didn't realize that they weren't actually units. So we've switched the categories on them, so now they actually know what they're doing. Because what would happen is that they'd build the option, they think they're getting a unit, because it's like one credit, so like, oh, this is some fantastic value. But then it turns out that it's not a real unit. So it goes away. But then they're like, hey, look, a 1 credit unit. This is some fantastic value. But then it turns out it's not a unit, and it goes away. And then they're like, hey, look, this is a 1 credit unit. That's some fantastic, and so on. So they were doing that every, like, second, multiple times per second. And if they were building them on all the planets they could, that would mean that they're getting a lot of those dummies. And now that has been stopped. We might need to build an actual repair station for this. So I want to kill this guy, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get in range. Oh, it's got to come forward before it goes back. Alright, let's get out of here. Not off the top of your head if Froro Baggins is still flying. It should be around here somewhere. I think that's one that was already built and hasn't died since. Crap. Alright, get back there. Ooh, this would have been a better way to go about that. But I wasn't sure if they had any more... any more ATAAs. It doesn't look like they do, so... There, let's get some healing in. And you guys can go up here. Is there a document or something to see if they're still alive? No, I do that in the community challenge because they're a 1 life and then they're gone. But right now, patron units, if they die, they get rebuilt. So, as we get more patrons and Twitch subs and channel members, I might start having to do life limits for them. And then I'll probably keep track on something. Just because I want to make sure that everyone gets their unit used, and then if I'm constantly rebuilding and using the same ones, sometimes that can mean that units aren't getting used as much as I'd like. But we're not quite there yet. I thought I'd have to start it for the New Republic playthrough, but I don't think that's the case. One of the things with that one is that the... there are a lot of like research units and like unlock era progression units. So it's not quite as difficult to build everything. I wouldn't even worry about doing the EOTH ground units for skirmish anytime soon, Ranger. Wait until the actual updates are happening, and we'll just have to go with the understanding for a bit that like, maybe do the some better costs for it. And like universal features, but I kind of similar to the skirmish patches with the Empire of the Hand right now. Them being generally, it's better to go with underpowered for something if something has to be kind of broken. Because if something's overpowered, then people will abuse that. If it's underpowered, then they just won't play it. It's better to not warp the game. That's usually the standard. Alright, can you extend now? Alright, you guys can start going in. Recent change that's been made after, I think, after this playthrough started, but before the New Republic playthrough started, is that every faction infantry will now try to avoid getting run over. Which makes a lot more sense than standing there and just letting yourself get run over. Believe it or not. Okay, so we know there is a second structure here. What it is, I don't know. But we're possibly starting to get into the point of having the economic structures, even for Greater Maldrude. So we might start getting some easier planets. Actually, can you get out of there? I want you to go heal. No! There. No, if you kill this, it's better. There, now you can kill this, and now you leave. And now you hit that. And we have the HV gun here, which we're just going to drop on it. Defo just unlucky's asking, are heroes currently recruitable by conquering certain planets going to be tied into some of these new mechanics? Some of them will be, yes. The big example being some of the heroes that the warlords get for conquering planets. Some may stay as like faction-specific conquering events, but a lot of Imperial heroes are actually going to be tied into the Imperial government mechanics, which we'll start working on more directly next release. So that'll be a thing. Alright. We win. Sucks to be Meldrude. We did lose a Gilzan, which I'm kind of sad about that. They're so OP. I really do need to start trying to do some edits before we release on that. Because I do want to make it so that their ground is a bit less shitty to use. Because right now we have the Gilzan that does everything. Artillery's pretty good, air strikers are pretty good, but other than that, we're kind of just using Gilzans. Like Mega Mazer tanks are underwhelming. RFTs are definitely underwhelming. But let's see, can we build more here? Dathomir will get a shipyard. We have a good amount of money. Do we have Kutrick as a shipyard? We do. So I think we should get Cavalier Fortunate and Backhand of Thrawn back, and then next week we'll get Vector Prime back. Well, Ranger, the spreadsheets are what made them currently underpowered, so I have to adjust them in both places.
Coming around. Construction complete.
You can just have that. We will have to deal with these guys. Invading the CSA is always scary, because they're kind of shit in space. Compared to other factions, because like getting to the unit counts that are effective for the AI is usually harder. But on ground, they have a lot of cool options. All right, so Meriden and. Do I even just want to get an AV gun here? Ooh, they have a good amount of space units here. All right. What do we got? I have an interdictor. Tractor's sexy. Not the Pillar of Autumn. There, let's get Nereus in on this side, I think. Ascendancy Warlord Star. Chiss's best friend. Let's go some carrier heavy tactics here. It's dinner. Shockwave, Ever to Excel. I like that name. Sawed the ship in half. I think that was supposed to be a reference to the Naruto. Captain Moses. Captain Sumakro. And then Ascendancy Shield. Actually, we can also fit Tundro in there. Look, I'm on TV. Alright, can you go forward and then you start... Like, the VSDs have a lot of upfront damage. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. It will never be the same. And then fighters and bombers go on in. It doesn't really count as doing carrier heavy tactics if I never actually tell them something to do. We're gonna lose another Phalanx on this. All right, kill the strike cruiser. That's a lot of damage coming in. Let's go on a bunch of different weapons there. Let's go with that.
Ready for command, sir. Targeting the
I don't know that we'll be able to
We've got them on scopes.
kill this in time.
Out of formation. Draw their fire. After them. Intercepting. Commencing. Decoding your transmission. TIE squadron ready for awaiting new instructions, Commander.
Right, that heavy turbo laser. Kill the stuff on that side. Kill the gladiator. You can kill the strike cruiser. You're gonna go for the precursor.
I'm on them. Reporting in. Malaysian formation. Target locked. I'm losing.
Alright. Those heavy turbo lasers. We might actually be able to save this phalanx.
Go after the stragglers. I got it. Roger that. Excellent shot.
Go forward, Star Destroyers. You got some shields. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a survival.
Enemies in range. Target locked. Eliminating target. Target locked.
Pretty epic. Alright, kill those engines.
Excellent shot. I got one. Awaiting new instructions, Commander. Locking on. I have them now. I'm on them.
Alright,
Enemies in range.
that almost went pretty badly considering what we were fighting. It's not survival mode. I mean, I really want to get survival mode going again. That'd be great to just like throw on for a stream and see how we do. We lost Chiss's best friend ever to excel at Sinner and Shockwave, so we actually lost a lot more than I thought we would and wanted to lose there, but it's kind of sad. Like, we're at the point where invading the CSA is kind of what we need to do. We'll need to take Intrala. Alright, what's on the ground in Maradun? There are some economic structures here, so I think we really just need one of these Gilzean companies to be done, which is almost going to happen there, so soon we'll be able to go in. Let's just build a couple of those. That'll still give us to enough money to build the Antigo in week 59. We just have to worry about being attacked on Maradun, or on Yavin. If we can get to Telos... Oh, look what they're doing. They're doing that thing I said. Alright, let's check out Farai. New Republic has conquered Haas. So they're actually fighting the CSA over there. I'm fine with that. If the New Republic wants to do that, that is their prerogative. That is their area. Let's get them over there. Let's get Thrawn some support. We are one tick over from getting Vector Prime back. About to invade Dathomir. You can't do this to me. Ranger's asking what was actually broken with survival. A lot of the scripts just didn't get updated with new ways of doing things, and stuff with the fighter spawn in particular was broken. But it needs a lot. It needed a lot of updates to be playable in the first place.
Tactical battle imminent.
Sadly, we lose our shipyard there. We got 2 Lucrehawks coming in. Like, Rogue also started making new maps for survival, but he used like game object as props, which tended to mean they were like winning the game for you. You never actually had to do anything. So those ended up getting cut, but the rest of it still needed to be fixed anyways. It'd be simple enough to restore like the fighter spawns and stuff, but it would still be a bit of a mess. Not having a Phalanx or an Intego here makes me a little bit sad.
Orders, sir. Comlink active.
All right, we're gonna go for the bulwark first, I think. It's too bad we don't have our Intego here, or our interdictor here, rather, Prolipses. So we do have a couple, but not in this battle. You guys can go for the bombers.
Coming around. Eliminating target. Target locked. Getting a lock. Destroyer here. Intercepting. I'm on them. Excellent shot. I got one.
No damage so far, but this is going to be the first set of proton torpedoes connecting.
Get behind them.
Getting a good amount of shields down. You guys are going in. We got 4 more squads coming.
Now. I'm on them.
Interceptors, just stay covering them.
Got them in my sights. Locking on. For the Empire.
No, why would you loop around that way? You're...
Enemies in range.
Okay, stop there. Come in this way. Come in this way. Come in this way.
Stay in formation.
So again, Bulwark is our main target.
Eliminating target.
And especially the engines on the Bulwark. Because once this is out of the way, like, these are the majority of the fleet that actually took Eel Shaw from us.
Getting a lock.
But we are sending Thrawn back to deal with Dathomir, so we can't really send him on an offensive for Eel Shaw.
Enemies in range.
Alright, fighters keep pouring out there. Bombers... maybe start going for that Lucrehawk, I guess. Nearest, you can stop here. You can start turning in.
Taking fire. Commander, they're hitting us. Target locked.
And let's start bringing our smaller frigates in now that we have the front line engaging it. So we'll start getting some more damage in, but we'll hopefully not have to worry too much about tanking. I'm going to pull the Syndic that's taking all the damage right now. Look, I'm on TV. I'm going to pull that one back.
Falling out of formation. Excellent shot.
Give it a chance to pull some shields back. It's the nice thing about the Empire of the Hand. Usually you're fast enough to be able to do that in a way that other factions generally can't do as reliably. Like, you can still kite, but not quite as well.
Star Destroyer reporting in. Go after the stragglers.
Alright, you are going to take out those frigates, Tundro. It's a loud whistle.
Yes, Commander. Quick.
Loud unnecessary whistle.
Enemy craft.
Alright, back off, Cynic. We got Captain some macro coming in. Probably just going straight for the Lucre Hulk at that point. And let's get our fighters and interceptors to make sure they're sticking on the right targets here. There goes the Nebulon B. Bulwark's down. And let's make sure we are holding on this. And now you can loop back around, take out the Lucre Hulk. You guys can start moving up to the Lucre Hulks as well. And I think we can take out both at once. But Nira's... Try not to get too far into the line of fire. You need to live. Chances are we can't get the engines down on these guys first. We do need to pull some interdictors into this. Wait, maybe we can. That's a lot of damage coming in. Alright. Engines... Engines. Just see if we can get... Like, that's gonna be... Oh, that's gonna be close. Nope! If I'd pressed the right button, I have my keyboard off to the side. I'm so used to space being paused in FTL right now. Yeah, I'm starting to build the interdictors, but we haven't really had enough credits to build all the units we need to make sure we win engagements plus do the interdictors. And we're finally getting to that point, but it's still not quite there yet.
Of course. Move out.
Alright, what was it at Meridoon? We have a light vehicle, yeah, that's fine. What about Fry? Okay, that should be pretty easy as well.
Moving to coordinates.
Hopefully we get here before they invade on Grit. Nope, never mind. Well, can you guys, like, I've tried to help you in other places. Could you just attack the Hapens? I want Dathomir. You can't take planets from me. You can take it from other factions.
Keep going. This way. Over there.
Let's get out to the bridge then.
T4B mobile.
We
Form up.
secured a build pad. We lost a build pad.
Ready.
Unit
Yes, sir.
destroyed.
We secured a build pad.
Waiting orders. Moving into
The enemy
position.
has been defeated.
That's the downside of starting with speeders. All right then.
Invasion commencing.
Good ship, I guess. Maybe. I'll take it.
Roger. Right away, sir.
All right. I'm not going to get the field base up here. I think we're going to get it up at the middle one.
Move out. Right away.
But what we will land here are two airstrikers.
I copy. Reporting.
So we may as well go around, because I don't think we saw anything ATAA-esque. We'll just have to make sure we don't fly into some anti-air turrets.
Moving to rest area, sir. All right, men. Take cover. Target.
We do have some anti-infantry here.
Heading out. Advance. There they are. Blast them.
Here, keep moving forward to that. And let's see if we can kill the... Let's attack center. Don't need to worry about that.
Moving out. Fire at will. Attacking.
Alright, we do need to go more back here. They got in range. So we have to stay farther back from the shore. So they do have an AA turret there. So we need more infantry. We're just going to have to micro this one with the vehicles. Probably use a bombing run on that one. And because we don't really have much else in the way of vehicles right now. Or units. So waiting for a proper assault isn't going to do us much good. Those might actually all get hit by the bombing run. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh yeah, good, nice job. Good lineup. Well, I mean, I may as well send him in. Just a massive units there. Like, they have some good units, but nothing that's really good for anti-air duty, other than the infantry. Defo just unlucky. He's asking any solid plans on what you guys will be focused on for the release after 2.0, after 3.0 rather. So we're gonna have a slightly shorter development cycle for 3.1, where we're mostly focusing on stuff on the back end while also setting up some initial Revan's Revenge stuff, which won't mean we're releasing Revan's Revenge before other stuff. Just that we're like direct content wise, that'll be more of a focus because we've got to redo the way we handle eras. That'll be one of the things we're working on, but what that'll initially look like is just recreating what's already in game using a new framework and converting to that. So there's a lot of work that we have to do making things be ready for what we're working on next. And then once that's done, we'll release that, which will have a lot of performance improvements, probably some fixed up story stuff, but like it won't be quite as comprehensive or quite as wide-ranging as what's changing in 3.0. So it'll hopefully only be a pretty short release cycle, and then we'll be getting on to some other stuff with like government mechanics and like the Hapens and all that kind of stuff. Then we'll get back to a lot more new content. Like there'll still be a bunch of stuff happening, like some other more specific changes in 3.1 and 1.1, but the main focus will be on fixing up some of that kind of back-end stuff that I was talking about. The air units that I'm using are called Air Strikers. They're actually one of the few canon Chiss units, like canon as in Legends canon, not necessarily canon as in new canon, but they show up in the Dark Nest series. Their design will probably end up looking less like ties because they're meant to be directly Chiss rather than the kind of Imperial Chiss fusion that they currently are. Alright, you guys come in. Hopefully that's all not the same grouping. No, do they have another set? Oh crap, that was the farther up one. I thought that was this one. Oh well.
Over there. Commence assault. T4B mobile.
Devfood's asking, out of curiosity, what's your favorite upcoming faction for any of your mods? Or what's your most anticipated? I kind of like maybe the Republic for Revan's Revenge, just because it is a new period as well. But like the Hapen should be pretty interesting. The Huts I really like the art style for. So they've all got stuff to look forward to.
Underway.
Unit destroyed.
Almost there.
Alright, we need to run these over.
Heading out.
Is this it? This took way more losses than I'd hoped. There we go. Whiskey's asking, do the Eclipse and Sovereign class SSTs have the ability to shoot through planetary shields in land battles due to their superlasers? No, that wouldn't really be a thing you can represent in Empire at War in a useful way.
System control achieved.
Because those can essentially render the planets uninhabitable, or like next to uninhabitable. So we'll have to wait until the next week to do the Antigo that we want to build. But we do need a barrack somewhere. Let's do some of those. But I think that's actually going to do it for our first episode here. We're going to record a couple more Empire of the Hand ones, and then we're going to move on to the New Republic. So for those watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. For those watching on Twitch, we'll be continuing on in a second. Hope to see you next time.